When I found out I was pregnant with Bridget, I had already had 4 children. And as with all of those other pregnancies, I did not have any prenatal screening. Part of the reason why I didn't have prenatal diagnosis is not just because I knew I could never do anything about a negative prenatal diagnosis, but I also knew that I would fret and be in despair. I wasn't the kind of person who could just blow it off. And if I was going to have to deal with having a child who had disabilities, then it was better for me to deal with that child as a child, not an idea of an unknown. I found out at birth that Bridget had Down syndrome, and it was a shock. After she was born, you bring home a baby, and her siblings love her, and everyone wants to see her and rally around. The label becomes, despite the fact that I didn't have prenatal diagnosis, so as to not deal with the theory, the label is kind of a theory because she's a person with interests and abilities and responses, even as an infant, that make her Bridget, and that's what everybody comes to love. No one can imagine what their family would be like without a key member. It would be so much less wonderful and rich and colorful. I think living with someone who has special needs awakens you to a different kind of love and a different kind of kindness that is not just in you and in your children and in your spouse, but is out there in the world. And Bridget has made that real in a way that I am really grateful for. This is the irony, is that I always figured, if you'd asked me, I figured God probably wouldn't send me a child with disabilities because he knows that I'm not a very good person, and only good people get children with disabilities because they are good enough to love them. I actually never thought of myself as that kind of person. Life has struggles, but in my case, I am so thankful that I let life win, or life just won, in spite of myself, because my life without Bridget, our lives without Bridget, would be so much less rich, less blessed.